Wholesaling probates for beginners step by step. What is up guys, Zach Ginn here, and in today's video, I want to show you exactly step by step how you can pull probate lists, get deals locked up, and get your first, second, third, or 10th wholesaling deal from the probate list. Now, I know the probate list is a contentious list, and you might be even watching this video like, Zach, I already know all about probates. How do I pull the list? I'm having a struggle doing it. And really, I'm kind of making this video for two people, the people looking to get their first deal and maybe probates they've heard from Rick or me as the best option possible and they want to do it. And maybe they're on the other camp here and they're like, Zach, I can't find a probate deal for the life of me. I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm really making this video for both of these people today. So let's break down exactly what are probates, how to pull probates, and how we get a probate deal locked up step by step. I'm also going to teach you exactly what you need to know about probates, how to deal with the title and all these situations, and honestly just telling you it's not as complicated or crazy as you make it out to be. So let's break down and talk about the first thing. What is a probate? The best definition I can find of a probate for pretty much any beginner, the legal process of finalizing someone's estate when somebody dies. And so when somebody dies, they might own a house, they might have some assets, they might have a car, and if they don't have a will, we gotta figure out where the stuff goes to, because obviously we don't want to give it to the government, it should be going to someone, and you can't really take all this stuff with you when you die. And so most people have some assets, and if you have debt, then that debt has to be paid first in most cases. So let's go through all this crazy legal processes. But for the majority of people that own real estate, if there's not a specific will in place, and sometimes there are wills in places, there has to be a legal process to figure out exactly who gets the house. Do the son and daughter get the house? Does the wife get the house? What's the situation, right? We gotta go through all of this right now. And that's basically what the legal process is. Now, the interesting part is every state handles probate just a little bit differently, but for the most part, this information will stay tried and true. Some of the names kind of switch a little bit with definitions, but really, if you can see through the lines and really understand the definitions, you should be fine anywhere around the country. So more specifically, it's like, okay, I understand what probate is, but why do I need to pull the probate? Well, there's two main reasons to pull the probate. Number one, the biggest, largest margin deals are always through probate. And I'm not talking little $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 deals. I'm talking 60, 70, 80, 90, heck, $100,000 plus spread wholesaling real estate deals are done through probate. That's the cool part. Personally, my largest wholesaling real estate deal was $115,000. Guess what list? It was the probate list. So maybe that jacks you up and gets you like, hey, I should probably pull that list, right? That's the best list for us to be pulling right now for wholesaling results. And second, and I think this is a really important one, to pull the probates, it's free. Most wholesalers don't know how to pull it. And the best part is every single county in the United States has some sort of probate court. So there's definitely that list and that data out there right now for us to do. Now, yes, it's a little more confusing how to actually do that on how to pull the probate list, but we're gonna break down exactly how to pull it. Because the reason is if we can pull the list, we can contact the people that are getting the property, see if they wanna sell it, we can lock up the deal, bring it to a title company, sell it to a cash buyer, and make a ton of money in wholesaling real estate. So here comes the $1 million question. How do I pull the probate list? So I think it's really important to understand here that I do have a free wholesaling course. It's called freewholesaling.com. And I personally, if I wanted to make the best video possible for you, I would just show you a bunch of counties. I would scroll online, say, hey, this is this county. I'm gonna pull the probate in front of you online to show you how to do it. I click here, and I go here, I pull it, I copy the data, I analyze it, and this is how I get their phone numbers and all this information. Now, I used to do this here on YouTube. Unfortunately, due to YouTube's privacy policies with names and addresses, I am not allowed to post these. And if I posted a video with that on there, this video would be taken down and I'd get a strike on my YouTube channel and I wouldn't be able to give you free real estate wholesaling content. So I made a free course. It's my own private server. There's no YouTube, there's nothing like that. And I can just post it right there and anyone can watch it. It's called freewholesaling.com. It's a free wholesaling course. It's absolutely for free, no dollars, no credit card needed. You just click below or you click there, freewholesaling.com, and you can actually see me doing that step by step. I think it's very important you actually watch that because it'll help you truly understand how to pull probates the correct way. Now going on to what I can show you and tell you in this video, I can kind of tell you what I'm doing, right? Not really showing you. If you're visual like me and you want to see it, go to freewholesaling.com. I made the wholesaling course. But all you have to do is go to your probate court or your probate office or their probate department. For most cities, it's the records department, the court department, the county clerk of court, whatever one you want to call it, it's the clerk of the court. And all I have to do is go to the clerk of the court and go to the probate department. And for a good amount of counties, there's an online portal publicly for us to look at all court cases. Because probates is handled by the government, it really has to be public information, and we can actually get this information. So we can go to the clerk of the court, find an online portal and search for the probates and go by date ranges for the past month and pull all the probate information. We get it there. That's best case scenario. Now, some states are easier than others, but really, and I think this is most importantly, there's over 3,000 counties in the United States of America, and every county has a different system of how they give out the probate data. This is why it's very confusing and difficult for some counties to get the probate information. Now, you might look at that as a con, but it's actually a huge plus. Because it's very difficult to access the probate information, this means not a lot of wholesalers can get it, your competition can't get it, and so that means once you get this list, there's a very good chance you get a really good wholesaling deal from it because you don't have a lot of competition. So it's actually a blessing in disguise here. Now, for some reason, if you can't get the clerk of the court data or get it publicly, I do recommend you actually call them up and ask, hey, I'm actually looking to get all the probate court cases and information about that. How can I actually get it? There should be phone numbers listed in the probate department and located on the clerk of the court, and they should tell you exactly how to pull it. Now, there are going to be some people, and it does drive me crazy, that say, oh, well, you can't give out the probate information, the case information. These are little Karens or Johns or Kens, whatever you want to call them, that feel like that you can't get the data because they feel like it. But guess what? They're government employees. These are not FBI secret documents of a planned invasion of a country. This is probate information, okay? This is not classified CIA information. We can basically get the public information. So what you gotta do is instead, if they just refuse to flat out do it, ask to speak to the manager. And usually you speak to a manager, they understand that they actually have to give the information out. The Freedom of Information Act was passed by Congress a very long time ago, where basically public information has to be given out to the people because we basically pay for their salaries. And if they still refuse that, what you can do instead is, this is a very, very sneaky way that I found to get really good probate information, is by actually just instead asking, hey, can I just get the public dockets for the day or the public court dockets for the week or month? And they say, yeah, sure, here it is. And not knowing, if you get the dockets, the court dockets, it shows if it's a probate or not a probate and the information on there, and then boom, you can do it. A lot of clerk of the court people, they kind of don't think outside the box too much. So if you ask them the court dockets, yes, it has all the probate data, but they don't think about that. What I've found is if you get the court dockets, you can get all the probate data you need for the city or county. Heck, even the state of Oregon, it's not really said, but Oregon gives out all the court dockets for the entire state online. And you can figure out if it's probate pretty simple and easy. You just gotta be smart to actually find that data. And heck, if you can't find the dockets or the clerk of the court, you're in the next step here with a FOIA request, or what we call a Freedom of Information Act request. Yes, sometimes you have to pay money for this information, but sometimes it's free. If you just ask for it for free and be nice, you can usually get more of this data for free than not. Then last but not least, if you can't get any of this data, you can just request from the health department for the state, can I get a list of all the death records in the past 30 days? From there, you can look those death records up on the property appraiser, see if they own property, and then figure out if that's gonna be a good probate or not. You won't get all the probates, but in a way, if you can't get the data, it's better to study it like that and get it than just have none of the data at all. Remember, I do teach this all in my free real estate wholesaling course, freewholesaling.com. Now, next here is organizing the probate data. And this might be like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be a lot of work. Really, it's not that much work. Organizing probate data is not that complicated, really. When we get a list of probates or court information, really the important info that we need to know. Number one is the deceased person's information, their full name. Number two, if they actually owned property, usually property is attached with the court documents. You can even look up these people that died on the property appraiser or the deed and see if they actually owned property. It's pretty easy to find that out. Then find their address, which should be listed on there. And then most importantly, we want to figure out who the heirs are, who's actually going to inherit the property through probate. In most cases in probate, someone's going to be assigned a PR or personal representative. This is the person who's going to be in charge of the estate. Now, I would say most of the time it's going to be a family member. Now, sometimes the PR is not specifically going to be the person that actually gets the house that we want to deal with. They're just the people that are in charge of decisions of the estate. Now, there's a very common misconception that you can't get a property under contract and buy it while it's in probate. For most cases in the United States, and again, I'm not a lawyer, don't quote me here, but I have done a lot of deals like this, you can lock up a contract while it's in probate, bring that to the probate attorney, they can bring it to a judge and get it signed off pretty quick and pretty easy. Now, you need to work with a legitimate attorney, title company, that we do teach in our free real estate wholesaling course, freewholesaling.com, how to do, but really it's not that complicated. And before you get all stressed out and freaking out over this, in the next couple minutes, I'm gonna explain that entire process. But let's kind of get back to where we gotta be at. We see a PR, the personal representative, that's the person we wanna focus on. Now, if you wanna figure out exactly if that PR is the right person or not, my quick trick is if a Scott Kelly died and there is a Sarah Kelly who's the PR, 99% of the time, it's gonna be someone related to that Scott Kelly, because the last name is Kelly. That's gonna be somebody we should be reaching out to. Now, the next step is pretty easy. We find the PRs, the relatives information, and we actually reach out to them. My favorite way of finding the personal information here is just going to two websites. One is truepeoplesearch.com and the other one is cyberbackgroundchecks.com. I personally found that they had the best data on people, and really, heck, you can even put the deceased person's name on cyber background checks or even truepeoplesearch.com, and you'll find relatives on the bottom. Click that Sarah Kelly, click it, and their phone number, address, and all that stuff pops up. Then you can do your standard marketing, cold calling, texting, reverse trying for dollars. Reach out to them, see if they're looking to sell their property. Now, my favorite way of marketing out to these people is by just calling them and using a simple script. Something that's not saying, hey, I saw your dad died, can I buy your house? That is not the smoothest introduction. What I'd prefer you to do is call them up and just play stupid and pretend like they own the house, because they technically do. Hey, is this the owner of 123 Maple Street? Well, kinda, yeah. Who is this? Well, hey, my name is Zach. Me and my partner are looking to buy a couple houses in the area, and we're just seeing if you're looking to sell it. We give the seller some dignity there. We're not saying, hey, I know your dad died. We're just in the area seeing if you're looking to sell your house. That has always been the best approach when cold calling these probates that are actually gonna get us really good wholesaling results. Now, on top of that too, you can send mailers out. We have a free mailer, download at freewholesaling.com we can do for probates. But really, all you have to do is just lock up the deal. A lot of people say, oh, your seller might say, well, it's gotta go through probate first. Well, you can say, actually, according to state law, you gotta read the law, obviously, you can actually get the property under contract and bring it to the probate attorney and get it sold and really go through the probate and really skip most of the hassle of the probate process and get your cash. Obviously, this is gonna be done with a probate attorneys and above board with a legitimate title company, so you know where you rest assured you're gonna get the money in as clean and easy a transaction as possible. Now, what you gotta do is just get the property locked up. Heck, if they keep asking questions about doing a deal through probate, bring it to your title company. Say, hey, this is Sarah Kelly. She has some questions about going through probate. If she can really actually sell her house. Oh, of course. And then have the title lady talk to her about it, and she can rest assured, like, yeah, we actually do this all the time, because most legit title companies do, because they list properties while it's still in probate and get it sold. Now, yes, probate attorneys are involved, but here's the cool part, and here's the thing I think you're overthinking this. A lot of the heavy lifting and the confusing work and all these things are gonna be done through a probate attorney and through the title company. They're dealing with all the crazy and hard issues, and what we're dealing with is just locking up the deal, having title company and probate deal with it, and then we find the cash buyer, get paid, and get our money. It's not as complicated as we make it seem. There is a ton of money to be made in probates because most wholesalers don't know how to go after them the right way. And of course, you don't have to pay these crazy expensive courses to learn how to become an expert when wholesaling probates. Guys, if you want to get your next probate deal, pull the list, start talking to these sellers, and get some massive, huge wholesaling real estate deals. Guys, the wholesalers that get their first deal and they make $25,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, they always go through the probate list. It's a small list, it's not that big, it's something you can start doing today, and boom, you can get wholesaling real estate results. Here's my favorite part. Guys, if you lock up a deal that's in probate, you have a lot of questions, you don't have any probate attorney contacts, you don't know what title company to bring it to, you can just send me a JV deal at sellmypaper.com. And of course, I'll help you handle it. We can split the deal together and we all can get paid on the transaction. If you want to start doing that, make sure you go to sellmypaper.com. And like always, if you don't learn the entire probate process on kind of a longer format so you get more education on it, make sure you go to freewholesaling.com, my free real estate wholesaling course. Again, if you got any value from this video, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you soon. This is Zach Ginn signing out. Have a blessed one.